up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video, joined by a very special guest, Lynn. Say what's up.
What's up?
All right, listen, so this Ayesha Curry shit just happened not too long ago, so we're just gonna get into it. So you actually didn't see, so we watched a quick clip, you saw it, you had some opinions. We're gonna play it again for the viewers, just in case you haven't seen this video, and then we're gonna talk about it. Anything to say before we get started?
Love out to Ayesha Curry, because she's also from Toronto. Shout out to Toronto.
Oh yeah, you're an international one, aren't you?
I am. Don't pronounce the second T though. Toronto.
All right.
Say it with me.
Let's talk about it. That's what y'all say, right?
About.
Let's talk about it.
It's out and about.
You little moose lover. All right, we're gonna watch the
Moose
video.
are very dangerous.
All right.
Words. Baby, whoa, okay. Now, you know, when I really looked at it that way, I really had to have more compassion and more understanding.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not
Like,
looking. You're not even.
But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too, like, and I was young, like you.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh my
not
God,
fair.
I mean.
because I don't want it, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking.
But when you're
Your goddamn husband is looking. Yo, this is like crazy to me that this is actually. You know what? I can't act like I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Like, this is why, like, you know, why I go into every situation my most logical self. She has the wealth that she needs, that she doesn't even require, right? Like, she has wealth on wealth. She's got a loving husband. She has, how many kids does she have with him?
At least two.
At least 2 kids. She's a celebrity through her husband.
In her own right too.
But because her husband is one of the best players ever to walk planet Earth and play basketball.
No, I think she had a little bit of like her own traction before they really like got together.
A little bit of your own traction is not being Stephen Curry's wife's traction.
Okay, fine.
I see. Look at you defending this bullshit already. Did you hear what
I was not defending the bullshit. I was defending like just her.
Okay. Regardless, she has all of these things, and it's still not enough. It's still not good enough. You know, like what is this indicative of, in your opinion? Like, is this a insecurity thing?
I think there's partially like an insecurity thing, right? Because what I heard was, hey, I feel like I'm not attractive. Like, am I attractive? Because, like, I don't know, right? Like, he can tell that he still is because there are all these people validating it. Now,
let me just ask you a real quick question.
okay.
Because she started off in saying that he gets all this attention, but she does not. And then the lady started tapping her on her leg. It's because you're not looking. So let's say that he wasn't getting attention.
Okay.
I think it would be the same conversation. She still requires this attention because of her, whatever insecurities that she has, even though she has a life that's set up with just, she'll never have to worry about a purchase again in her life or her great-great-grandchildren because she's set up, right? Like, so I'm just so confused. Like, I can't say that it's tough to see because you see how well that they work together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you also don't actually know unless you're in the relationship. Right? It's kind of like when you're looking at like Facebook couples who are all like, oh, we're super into each other. Look how much I love this person. But then behind the scenes, they have all these issues. You don't know that.
Yeah, but this is not a them issue, right? Like, do you think that it's really him not paying attention to her? Or do you think it's she just needs to be validated by dudes that are not her husband. The thing is that like it'd be different if she wasn't married
Right.
with kids.
Why is it different?
It's different because that's gonna be, they're tied together for the rest of their life, and you know, till death do them part. You know, unless there's a divorce or something like that. So it's different in the sense that they're married and her life is already set up, right?
But what if they'd been dating for 20 years? Like they're just perpetually, this is my life partner. We just never got married.
It's still fucked up, but
Yeah.
the thing is that it's now because she's married, that puts the husband at risk. So in a dating relationship, he can just hop out at any given time. But if they get divorced, it's taking half of his money. So, and it all goes back to the value of getting married, right? I think a component of it, you have to question it when you get 10 years into a relationship and she's talking about not enough people around her validate her, so she feels insecure because of that.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of jealousy thrown in there too. Like, oh, my partner's getting all this attention, but I'm not.
Okay. So you think it's... but if he wasn't getting the attention...
Yeah.
Do you still think that she'd feel the same way?
I think it depends on how she wants to be appreciated. Right? Because, like, different people feel, get the feeling of, oh, I am attractive in different ways. Right? It's kind of like love languages. Like, people want to be appreciated in different ways. So for her, it could be like, hey, other people paying attention to me, or other people, telling me that I'm beautiful, or other people throwing themselves at my feet.
But that's sick, though.
It is a little bit, but like that's to each their own, right? For some people, it's like, hey, somebody telling me, wow, I really admired your work. Like, or it could be like, hey, all these people are opening doors for me.
So it's valid
service.
Yeah, but
it is still external validation. Yes.
But it's an external validation. It's not like you're getting validated by the person who really even matters in your life. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's like, but if you can identify that in a partner early on before getting married, right? Like if you understood that she has that flaw, whatever you want to call it, like that quirk or whatever, and you still get married to her, it's like, that's on you at that point. But you have to deal with someone who cares about validation from dudes that are not who she's with.
Now, what if he's not reinforcing it enough? We don't know that either.
Every time you see them,
that's true. Like every time he's like talking about how much they love each other, it's like we were 15.
Yeah, like and he's a good dude. Like I don't know if he's a nice guy. Like how we. But you typically, when you see him, he's a respectable dude. Mm-hmm. Like
he's a respectful dude.
He's not on the media doing, going crazy. I've never seen him, with a whole bunch of women around him or anything like that. So although he's getting, a lot of attention, he has multiple kids with her. Mm-hmm. Like he's probably a super loving father, and then still, this is how she considers, and respects him.
I think the respect piece is a big one that we haven't actually breached yet. Because this is a conversation where, she's having this conversation with other girlfriends, right? That was mine.
Sorry.
Already finished.
Sorry.
Red Solo cup.
We gotta get another one.
We gotta go lift this up and get more tequila.
Yo, I'm angry. So I'm sorry. Continue.
So she's having this conversation with her girlfriends, and she's voicing her insecurities, which good on her for being vulnerable and being able to say it out loud. At the same time, it's very public.
Yo, shout out to my first love, Jada Pinkett Smith for well, that was is that my first love? Topanga from Boy Meets World. That was probably my first.
Yeah, that's a lot of other people's first love. Also, the chick from The Fresh Prince.
Tatiana?
The bigger cousin. Not the younger one.
I forgot her name. She was in Major Pain. Yeah, she was a baddie too. She was a mega baddie.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Tatiana. Anyway, let's get back in the video. Shout out to Jada for creating a space where people, women feel comfortable like this to get up and talk, because just like what I say in this channel, you often don't get the real intentions behind people unless you start to have a conversation with them. You know, that's why like on this channel, I opt for more conversations as opposed to like 10-minute clips or 5-minute clips of me telling you quickly how to do things. But when you can elicit dialogue like this and ask people why they think about something, and let them talk themselves into kind of, well, what's behind what they're saying, like what do they actually do? Because a lot of that is out there. Like you have to be able to disambiguate people who talk a big game, besides people who really play a big game. You know what I mean? But
I find people who play a big game don't really talk about it.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes on the internet that will purport themselves to be an alpha, or like, you know, anything that's like deemed, you know, positive or looked well upon.
You mean like I'm a dating coach, but I don't really know how to operate a successful relationship. Not me, actually. That was me doing an impression.
Oh, you taking shots at somebody?
No, not at all. Literally every pickup artist ever. If you're out there, you need to stop. You need to stop.
Okay, you're on one today. Listen.
Just serving truth.
And listen, well, the truth that Ayesha served us today, you know, the Curry household is probably a dark spot right now. Stefan, I need you to take control of this situation, right? This is your wife at this point. What do you think he should do? Like, how should he respond? I think there needs to be a response that's different than this, you know, good guy, nice guy shit that he might have been doing in the past. Like, you have to take back ownership of your balls at this point. Like, there's a respect that she has to see. Right? I don't think he's doing enough to earn that level of respect. What do you think?
I think they need to like sit down and talk about it and say like, hey, maybe he does, like if he feels disrespected by it, then he should sit down and just be like, hey,
how can he not?
Felt like I was being disrespected there, and like, you know, or find out why she cares about like being validated by some other dudes who are not in their relationship, which is their circle of trust. Because it could be just a physical manifestation of other things. Maybe it's just a symptom, right? Maybe it's not necessarily, hey, I crave attention from other people. Maybe it's, hey, like you haven't paid enough attention to this relationship, or I need to feel loved in a certain way, and I'm not feeling it right now.
Are you defending her?
Did you guys see that? I don't know. I feel like if he did the same thing, I'd probably ask very similar questions too. Like, is there something at home he's not getting? Like, is he not being appreciated the way he wants? And granted, I'd rather them like talk about it as opposed to like acting on it, because usually when people act on that kind of thing, it usually means they're cheating. Don't cheat on people. That's not good.
So anything else to say? I don't want to drag this on for too much longer. Anything else to say before we wrap up?
No, not necessarily. Just if you find yourself in this situation, maybe talk about it with your partner.
This is why I don't like following social media like that. Like, cause it's like no matter what you see, like your girlfriend is probably, you know, whoever you dating is sending you Ayesha Curry snaps and an Instagram post, you know, just hoping that one day she can achieve the same type of love, and then that's what happens behind, you know, not even behind closed doors, but like in the public eye. It's like everything is fabrication, you know, like it's all just bullshit.
Well, hopefully you end up dating somebody who, you know, is working on your relationship as opposed to looking at other people's relationships and comparing. Because that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic.
All right.
I'm serving topics today.
You are serving, but I appreciate your perspective. You know, you're just gonna hop in the black culture and give us your perspective. I appreciate your flexibility in the matter, Lynn.
It's called being adaptable.
Yeah.
I've got to use my like cross-cultural communication skills.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. All right. This has been your quick video. I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Lynn, thank you again for coming. I gotta stew on this a little bit longer. I feel like there's so much more I want to say.
This is a very heavy topic.
It's a heavy topic.
This is a heavy topic.
Like there's a lot more I want to say, but like I just gotta think about it for a quick second. Like
and
we just popped it on.
We have to like put ourselves in both of their shoes.
Listen, if I put myself in Stefan's shoes, I'm livid right now.
Right. Now, put yourself in her shoes.
I fucked up.
I'd probably
if I'm
be
her,
mad too.
if I'm her, I have to understand I fucked up and the magnitude of the fuck up.
Okay. Because like if I were to put myself in his shoes, I'd probably also be like super mad. But then I'd be a mix of like mad as in, well, why didn't you talk to me about this first if they hadn't talked about it before? But then also I'd be like, oh no, am I not doing something? Like, is there something that I should have been doing all these years that I haven't done? Or are you just like mistreating me?
But sometimes it's just like nothing that you can do because nothing would ever be good enough.
Oh.
If you're searching for if they're searching for validation from other people, you're only one human being.
That's true.
It's not enough. So obviously she has a need that he cannot meet on his own. And it's not to say that any one dude can meet it. Maybe she just has to be validated from a whole bunch of people. You know, you see that through, you know, I'm sure you got friends like, you know, whose whole job is to get the most amount of likes on Instagram. And when I say job, I'm not really talking about it's their income. It's just literally they put so much time, energy, and effort into uploading to a social platform that doesn't pay them any money, which is ridiculous to me.
That's not healthy. Don't do that.
Nah. So, you know, all in an
If
effort
you're getting
to...
likes, make sure you're getting paid. If you're working for likes,
all in an effort to create some type of perfect life that's not true.
That's a lot of people these days, though. Also a whole other topic.
Whole other topic. All right, let me sign off. Out
Do we
my
have to
way.
clap?
What do you mean we?
Oh, sorry, you have to clap. Sorry, I have to respect your space. Thanks for having me as a guest.